Hello and welcome. Today I want to show you a quick example on how to build a beautifully rendered nodes and domino view in a React component. And to make this sample a little bit more precise, let's go through a sample application that I have here. This is our tips and tricks database, and you can see this is the all-time favorite discussion template from Nodes and Domino, never changed for at least 2 decades. And we have a couple of documents in there, lots of them to be precise. So the view that we're having is not only having like 10 or 3 rows, it's going to be a little bit more. And what we want to build is something like this. So this would be the representation that we see right here. It's going to be a data table that will show a couple of items here. So we have the created date, we have the name of the person in Nodes that created the view, the document, and its title. And of course we could tidy that up, but this is just a quick demo representation, so bear with me. What we're going to be using in React though, as a base component, is something that I find really cool is UI material table. That's the product that is or the component that is rendering the data table here. And it gives us some beautiful features. As you see right here, we have 366 documents, and this gives us a nice paging capability. We can define how many rows we want to show inside of the rendering component. And it also gives us a search capability. And now let's switch on over and see if we got something like let's encrypt, for example, or certificate, and this will narrow down the results of the whole data set, not only the ones that are displayed, but everything that we see down here, right? So all of these beautiful things are in there. You can edit data sets. I will show this in a separate sample because it takes a little bit more effort to do that. And you can also add new data sets, for example, right here. So that's all doable within this data component. And then we're going to take a look at how we can build something that is like a categorized view. And we will categorize this by name, obviously, and this is done by 3 grouping. And I will show you how quickly that can be implemented. So now, after we've seen the sample of how it's going to look like, now how is that coded? Well, in the absence of Project Keep in the final version, this is using our own REST API in the backend. But bear with me, this is similarly done in Project Keep as well. So first of all, this is the front-end application. The REST API is sitting on our Domino server, ready to serve our document data. And this is our endpoint definition right here, right? So I'll define an Axios call, basic API call to our forms and views API, which sits on our Domino server. And I then have my application definition here in React, where I create my data columns that I need for the data table. As you can see, you can add in other material UI components directly into the component definition. So this avatar definition here, for example, is another material UI component that is rendered inside of the table for each and every entry. We have then a use effect call, which initiates our API and reads a view from this doc database, and this is the view name. So this is exactly the view that you see right here in the nodes view. This is the all documents view, right? So that's basically what we're doing. And then we got a lot of functions here to handle row updates, to handle the adding of row deletion and stuff like that. But we'll skip that for the sake of this short demo and just take a peek on the definitions here on the material table. So this is exactly the table that we render in here, and it will then render the data table, and we also allow the grouping. The grouping part gives you things like this over here, where you can just, for example, drag and drop a column up there, and it automatically groups the documents by, in this case, name. So this is the tool that we're going to be using to build a categorized view then, right? So that's the same thing. And so that's basically all that we need to do. We have our table definitions right here. And this is, of course, not user data anymore. This is tips and tricks from SIT. And so this will re-render our application, and here we are, right? So this is basically Node takes care of restart the application and working like this. So this is definitely the only part that we need to render our data table. So that's pretty simple, I guess. We have a grid definition to make the page look a little bit more pretty. And then we saw that we come up with the view exactly as it is right here. So we get the same 366 documents that we have in the nodes view as well. Of course, you could tidy those things up, pretty them up, make the columns a little bit more alike and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things we can do with this data table and format it. But the basic functionality is there right out of the box. And now I'm going to just change one last thing, to automate the grouping for what we have did. So I want to make this the name, which is in our case in the field same time info in nodes, become our default group order. And this is exactly what you do right there. This is the only parameter that I need to add this. And if I look at the data table right now, it's going to be re-rendered, and I can display some more data sets. And we got this beautifully rendered as a categorized view of the nodes data. Of course, we can do a lot. As I said, we can do lots of things in here regarding actions and stuff. So there's a lot of things that material table gives you, including tree data, validation of data that you send up. You can do styling, sorting. You can have selections, multi-selections within the data sets that you're displaying. Lots and lots of stuff. And the good thing is it's all free. It's free for you to use. So go and I would say if you use it with the Domino AppDevPack, if you want to use it with our REST API, if you want to use it with Keep, this will really help you to build beautiful looking views in a breeze, right? So go out and get creative. Thanks a lot.